Oda just did something that almost nobody noticed, and it completely changes what Chapter 1189 could become. Luffy wasn't simply defeated, he was rejected. And I think Oda has only two possible directions left. What if I told you Chapter 1188 wasn't actually about Imu defeating Luffy? It was about Oda preparing Luffy for his final evolution? Because think about it. For the very first time since awakening Gear 5, Luffy looked helpless. Not scared, not exhausted, completely outclassed. Even Gear 5, the so-called peak of his devil fruit, couldn't even touch Imu. Every attack was blocked, every trick was countered, and then Imu stabbed him. Not with a random attack, but with something called the Blade of the Void. Now here's the crazy part. Oda never introduces a defeat like this unless it changes the main character forever. And after reading Chapter 1188 over and over again, I honestly think Oda has left us with only two possible directions for Chapter 1189. The first one might completely change everything we know about Gear 5 itself. And the second could finally reveal the biggest mystery in One Piece history. Let's begin. Theory 1. Luffy talking to Nika. Everybody assumes Gear 5 is complete. After all, Kaido literally called it the pinnacle of Luffy's powers. But is it really? Think about what happened. Imu literally tells Luffy, "You are not Joy Boy." And then, the most important line, "If you truly were Joy Boy, you wouldn't be this weak." That dialogue feels deliberate. Oda isn't insulting Luffy, he's comparing him to the original Joy Boy, meaning there is still an enormous gap between the two, which raises one terrifying question. If Joy Boy used the exact same devil fruit, why was he so much stronger? The answer might be because Luffy has awakened the fruit, but he still hasn't mastered it. Remember something very interesting. Zoan devil fruits have their own will. We've known this since Vegapunk explained it. The Gorosei themselves said the human fruit model Nika has avoided the world government for over 800 years, almost as if it possesses a will of its own. So what if inside that fruit there really is a consciousness, not literally Joy Boy but Nika himself? Imagine this. Luffy loses consciousness after being stabbed. Instead of dying, he wakes up inside an endless white world. No battlefield, no Imu, just silence. Then that familiar heartbeat begins. A silhouette appears. The smiling figure we've chased for hundreds of chapters. Not Joy Boy, not exactly, but Nika. For the first time, Luffy doesn't fight. He listens. Nika explains something that nobody has understood. Gear 5 isn't the final stage. It's only the beginning. Awakening unlocked the door. Mastery is what lies beyond it. Imagine if Luffy learns how Joy Boy actually fought, how he used imagination, how he controlled reality, how he defeated enemies stronger than himself, not through bigger punches, but through freedom itself. That alone could completely change this battle. But what if Oda doesn't do that? What if Chapter 1189 goes somewhere even crazier? Because there is one person who knows every answer. Imu, Theory 2. Imu's flashback. Notice something strange. The chapter doesn't start with action. It starts with memories. The first conversation between Joy Boy and Imu. Why would Oda suddenly show us that? Simple, because he's opening the door to a flashback. Think about every major villain. Doflamingo, Big Mom, Kaido, Kuma, Oden, even Roger. Before the biggest emotional moments, Oda always lets us understand them. But Imu, we know almost nothing. Who was Imu 800 years ago? Friend? Enemy? Family? A king? Or someone betrayed by Joy Boy? Imagine. Chapter 1189 suddenly shifting completely. The battlefield disappears. Instead, we're transported 800 years into the past. The ancient kingdom still standing. Joy Boy alive. The 20 kingdoms preparing for war. And standing in the middle, a young Imu. No silhouette, no mystery, no darkness hiding the face. For the first time, Oda reveals the person who changed history forever. This flashback could answer everything. Why the Void Century happened, why the world government exists, what the ancient kingdom really was, why Lily disappeared, why Joy Boy failed, why Imu became immortal, and most importantly, why Imu reacted so emotionally when Luffy declared, "I am not Joy Boy." That wasn't hatred, it sounded like grief. Almost like someone remembering a person they lost 800 years ago. Personally, I think both theories could actually happen together. Luffy falls unconscious while Oda shifts us into Imu's flashback. During that flashback, Luffy's subconscious meets Nika. One story unfolds in the past, the other inside Luffy's own mind. By the time we return, Luffy won't just wake up. He'll understand his devil fruit better than ever before. And for the first time, he may finally begin walking the same path the Joy Boy once walked. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Luffy will meet Nika inside his subconscious? Or is Oda finally ready to reveal the truth behind Imu and the Void Century? Comment your theory below, because if even one of these predictions comes true, Chapter 1189 could become one of the greatest One Piece chapters ever released. If you enjoyed this theory, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Talks with Otaku, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the latest One Piece theories, chapter breakdowns, and discussions. Until next time, fellow pirates, I'll see you in the next one.